What's up, everybody? This is Marquise Dupree with Doc Sports. Welcome back for another edition of Doc Sports. We're in college football. We're going into week number 6. Like I told y'all before when we first started off this thing, I wanted y'all to have patience and kind of see what your team will be 6 games in. Well, now we're 6 games in, and now we're trying to see who's gonna cut the mustard. Who's gonna be a successful football team? How about that? Who's going to the playoff? That's what we're trying to see. And there's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs. Um, Game last week that I watched is of course Florida State and Wake Forest. It was Florida State, first ranked team, playing in the ACC. It was Wake Forest. Now I thought we did have a pretty good chance of beating Wake Forest. I thought we had a better chance of even winning, but I also felt like Jordan Travis should use his legs more to win a game like that. And I think something is wrong with Travis as far as running. They don't want to admit it, but I don't think he can run. I don't think he wants to run. I mean, it's a high risk for him to run because we cannot afford for Travis to get hurt. Jordan Travis cannot get hurt. If we want to go deep in this thing, he cannot get hurt. He can't. One thing that Florida State has a big issue right now. It's one thing that we always had issues with. A kicker. Where is our kicker? We learned a long time ago from the far left, wide right. We learned that we always have to recruit a top tier kicker. And I think Norvell right now is pretty much seeing that for itself. And we have a kicker that we're interested in, and we have a kicker that's interested in us out of Pace, Florida, which is Pensacola, my hometown. And we need to go get him. We need to make sure that he is going to come to FSU because we need him. We need him bad. We need a kicker so bad that I'm ready to just uh, one of the Aguirre brothers up and hell, they can pass off for a 19-year-old kid, I guess. Um, but Mike Norvell don't have confidence in Fitz, and Florida State has to have a kicker. Have to. As I say, I'm always looking at my iPad down here, looking up stuff. So you guys got to excuse me. Um, so FSU has to go into NC State. NC State, like Wake Forest, like Syracuse, like Clemson, no pushover. They're ranked number 14, and we got to go to NC State. Now, the thing about going to NC State, I think we will be okay because they don't run that slow mesh. They just straight up what you see. Now that don't mean they're not good, but I think we can get downfield without thinking. We'll be okay. If we think too much, I think our defense gets lost and they don't know how to react. And I think we don't have to worry about that. I just think we just got to line up and play big boy football. Once we do that, I think we will be okay. Will we win? I hope so. But NC State's no pushover. And one thing about football right now, especially when it comes to Florida State, is everybody think that they can beat Florida State because since 2017 we've been a pushover, you know, and it's mental. We have the talent, but our players has to develop that mental instinct that when they step on the field, nobody can touch them. They're gonna run through you. And see, that's what we haven't had because of the different coaches changing and the culture changed. You know, so Florida State has to get that mental instinct back to be some dogs, and I think they're close. We need a few more pieces. We're getting close, but we're not there yet. And I hopes that we beat NC State. We have Clemson coming into Tallahassee next week. So we play Wake Forest, NC State, Clemson. That's a tough run, brother. That's a tough run. And I hope we can win at least two of the three. We don't lost to Wake Forest. I'm hoping we can beat NC State. And Clemson don't look that hot to me. They don't. But we have to see. My I just hope my Seminoles can make a bowl game early. I don't want to play Florida Gators for a bowl championship again. We did that last year. That wasn't a good feeling. Florida fans shouldn't be proud of that either. But they beat us and they got the chance to go to a bowl game. And hey, Florida State is playing NC State number 14, 8 p.m. on ACC Network, ESPN. It's going to be a pretty good game. So now, another game I want to talk about. Oh, yeah. Y'all looking at me, y'all probably thinking about what other game he want to talk about. You know I'm a Florida State fan. And you know most of my followers. Oh, please like and subscribe on your way in here, please. Always like and subscribe and add a comment if you like. Please add a comment, some feedback. I love feedback. The game I want to talk about is number 1 Alabama and Texas A&M. Now, I feel good about Alabama. And I want Alabama to win because I want pressure on Jimbo Fisher for running the way he did. He ran. He ran because I saw some things I'm pretty sure all the other FSU fans saw. Jimbo Fisher was declining. You can tell he had all the kind of issues or what, but Jimbo Fisher has some great recruiting classes at Florida State and he has some great players. There's no reason Louisville, Lamar Jackson should have put 70 something points on us. You can talk about the defense coordinator. You can talk about everything, but Jimbo Fisher was the head coach. And he had Dalvin Cook, DeMarcus Walker. He the one chose to leave Darwin James in that game late to get hurt that year. That was Jimbo Fisher's decision. And I was hurt that year. We took some losses. Even though I think we end up playing Michigan that year or maybe the following year. I'm not for sure. I have to look that up. But that Lamar Jackson was whew. And one thing I like about Lamar Jackson, he never stopped being what he was. He was going to run, he was going to run. If he was going to throw, he was going to throw. He wasn't trying to be a pocket passer. He wasn't trying to be a running quarterback. He was just trying to be himself. And that's what he's doing now. He's not changing. He's being himself. If he got to run, he's going to run. If he got to throw, he's going to throw. And that's what I like about Lamar Jackson. He know who he is as a quarterback. He's not going to try to be Tom Brady. He's not going to try to be Michael Vick. He's going to be Lamar Jackson. He's going to do what's best for his team. And that's what you want as a quarterback. Now, like I said, Mr. Jimbo Fisher, come on down. Because I'm hoping Alabama put 72 points on you, kind of like what Louisville did to us that year. Now, one thing I know about Jimbo Fisher, he has a lot of good luck. And his luck don't come from those weird cheerleaders or whatever you call them doing those dumb cheers before the prep rally that whoo putting their hand. I don't know what that crap is. It's cringy, I tell you that. It's very cringy. talking about old rock or whatever they talking about. That's cringy. All boys in overalls. Go look it up, man. You make the decision. That it ain't right. Now I know that's tradition, but all traditions is not good traditions. Remember that. That's some crap. If you want a good laugh, go look at it. Go look at Texas A&M pep rallies before each game, and see these guys with overalls on talking about walking in a bar. I don't know what they talking about. Every team, I guess I don't know what them. You gotta look at it. It's weird, man. It's really, really, it's weird. If you want to laugh on a Friday night and you ain't got nothing else to do, go look at them. And it's one of the traditions they've been doing for a long time. But it just caught my attention this year. They was talking about Tennessee. When they playing Tennessee, and it was weird, man. It was very weird. If you're a Texas A&M fan, please explain that to me in the comments. Let me know. I mean, it's a pep rally, but and these guys are trying to hype up their crowd. But every time they put emphasis on a word, they put the one leg behind the other and kind of emphasize something. I don't know, man. It's cringy. Very, very, very cringy. So, having said that, I think Alabama's going to win that game 20 points easy. Now, Jimbo Fisher, like I said, he does have a way to get out of tight spots. He does put all eggs in one basket for certain games. He did beat Alabama last year. Him and Nick Saban was going back and forth this year at SEC Media Days. We know Jimbo Fisher bought that team. Well, not Jimbo Fisher, but Texas A&M, y'all bought that team. Go back and look at my other podcast, my first podcast and my second podcast, and I talk about Texas A&M buying that team. And like I said, it's legal all day. You can buy a team. If you win a championship with a bought team, you ain't gonna care how I feel. So I don't care how you feel with me saying this. You bought that team. Y'all bought a good team. But I don't think you have the coach right now at this day and time, to really push that team to make it successful. At least this year, I don't think so. Now, maybe next year, I think Jimbo Fisher, he'll probably, you know, be the old Jimbo Fisher. Go find him once he find him a high-powered quarterback, somebody like Jameis Winston, Cam Newton, Johnny Manziel, Tim Tebow. When he find a quarterback like that, he just magically becomes successful. Magically becomes successful. He put a lot of pressure on those type of quarterback, and Lamar Jackson, just a superstar quarterback, what I'm saying. But he don't have that, and it's showing. His offense is one-dimensional without a superstar quarterback. Doesn't make him look good. Is he a bad coach? No. No. I don't think he's a bad coach. I just don't think he's a $100 million coach right now. And that's what Texas A&M get for giving him that much so quickly. Yeah, he had one national championship at Florida State. But look at what he did after that. Florida State's supposed to win 3 championships, at least 2 easily. Easily. He had the recruiting classes to do it. You can talk about Florida State didn't have facilities. Florida State didn't have this, or Florida State didn't have that. Jimbo Fisher had enough to win as a head coach. You can tell, you can talk about Florida State didn't do this and Florida State didn't do that. Okay. He had the athletes though. And we know football is just showing up on the football field and lining up and playing football. One thing about Nick Saban, he developed players. That's why they have 20-something analysts. to take time with each player. Like I told you, Nick Saban, and I'm mad because I'm jealous, but Nick Saban takes a 3-star, make him a 4-star. Take a 4-star, make him a 5-star. Take a 5-star, make him a 6 or 7-star. Because he coaches them up. That's why when our players transfer to Alabama, they look better because they're being developed. And Mike Norvell doesn't figure that out. He's trying to do that. You can see he's trying to do that. And there's a lot of growing pains of him trying to do that. That's what make great coaches who win championships back to back to back to back to back. You go back and look at all of the successful multiple championship schools. Alabama just the latest, but they developed Pete Carroll. They developed their players. Athlete comes in as a 4-star, he gotta leave as a 5-star or 6-star or 7. Now he can get by for being good of his talents, but when you come from high school to college and college to pro, you gotta coach up to each level. There's only certain players that's going to come out of high school and be a superstar with their skills that they have. They exist, but it's very few. There are certain players that's going to leave college and going to be great in the NFL, but not every player. So you have to develop. And that's what Alabama does. Jimbo Fisher, not so much. Not so much. Not so much. They don't. All right. Let's move into some more games here for this weekend. Um, Let me see. Okay. This is an interesting game because I'm interested in this. Tennessee and LSU. Tennessee is ranked number 8. LSU is number 25. Why that game is important to me, I need LSU to win every game they can possibly can to make our win looks great. And what Florida State have to do, they have to win to make LSU loss look great. So I'm interested in the Tennessee and LSU game, and I hope LSU can pull this game out because I think Tennessee can be beat. I don't think Tennessee is back. I think they're good. I think they're going up, and I think they need success, and they got it. But I don't think they're number 18. I don't think so. If it is, then the SEC in trouble because you got Alabama and you got Georgia. Somebody's getting knocked out of the SEC championship. Let's see who Tennessee has to play. Let's see if Tennessee has to play Alabama or Georgia. Tennessee is 4-0. And you know what? That's good. Tennessee deserves to be 4-0 because, like I say, they're a team that was a team that needed some type of success. Also, they did. It's a lot of teams out there that was good back in the day, and they need some help. They really do. And it's coaching. They need coaching and somebody that's willing to develop. Okay, Tennessee do has 2 wins that I recognize. They beat number 17 Pittsburgh, and they beat number 20 Florida. And to me, that's good. Now Tennessee, after they play LSU, they have to play Alabama. Then they play UT Martin. Then they play number 13 Kentucky and number 2 Georgia. Woo, they play the number 1 team and the number 2 team. What if Tennessee can beat either Alabama or Georgia? What if Tennessee beat them both? Well, then, shoot. If Tennessee beat both of them, we might have a new national champion if Tennessee could beat Alabama and Georgia. Can they do it? That's why we watch college football. That's why we watch college football. But right now, they got to beat LSU. And I don't need for them to beat LSU. I need for LSU to beat them, Tennessee wake up, and then they call through the whole SEC. I wouldn't mind that. But I need LSU to win. That's just me and me being a Florida State fan, being biased. Yeah, I'm being biased on that one. I need LSU to win. I need them to win. I mean, we have a lot of great games in the SEC. I can say SEC are coming with some good games right now. So you know, and as I said, Alabama played Texas A&M, Tennessee, Mississippi State, LSU. I need LSU to win. Sorry, Alabama fans, but I need LSU to carve through y'all. Would it happen? We all know that. Ole Miss, Austin Peay, and Auburn. Speaking of Auburn, oh Auburn, listen to me, Auburn fans, y'all need to leave your coach alone. You need to tell your boosters to leave that coach alone. If not, y'all need to write that check and tell him I appreciate you coming and leave now. Don't wait till the end of the year because Tennessee has sabotaged that man recruiting classes not once but twice. And they wonder why Brian Hartson cannot recruit at Auburn because y'all boosters are talking about firing him because he won't kiss your butt and because he's a disciplined coach and because the players ain't supposed to like the coach. You ain't supposed to like the coach when you get there. When the coach come into your house and he sit on there and he tell you that you the best, oh yeah, you like him then. It's okay. You can like him then. But you're not supposed to like the coach when you get to college. He's not supposed to kiss your butt. He's supposed to give you a set of new skills, coach you up to make sure that you're successful in college football so you can get to the NFL or somewhere else that you need to be. He's not there to be your buddy. It's okay if he does, but he's not there to be your buddy. And like I said, all of my friends that I did was in the military. And I'm gonna tell you something that I hear them talk about all the time. They couldn't stand the drill sergeant. Some of them became drill sergeant. But you know the one person who they always remember and always talk about good and bad is the drill sergeant. And I'm not talking about bad as in, okay, well, he slapped me and he did. No, they talk about him bad because he made them do what they were supposed to do to be great soldiers. That's what coaches do to players. They're supposed to make you run. They're supposed to make you do push-ups, crab walks, tackle drills. They're supposed to hold you accountable for when you don't read the playbook because they're trying to put the best, knowledgeable, smart players on the field. Well, Brian Harsin don't have that many players to put on the field because a lot of Auburn boosters have sabotaged this man. They tell, oh, he's looking for a job. I'll be looking for another job too. He should have left for another job already. There's jobs available. Nebraska, Arizona State. There's some good jobs available. And there's some more that's going to come available for Brian Hartson. If he knew he was going to go through this crap, he would have stayed at Boise. I wish I could interview him right now or when he leaves Auburn so he can tell the truth what's happening at Auburn. And Auburn has the money. Yeah, we know who paid for Auburn from Abbeville, Alabama, Mr. Jimmy Rain, Yellowwood. We know who runs the school, who's the boosters. We know this. You can go to every college and ask who's the booster that put the most money in. Every one, including Florida State. And there's somebody there. Somebody's there. I feel like because they give so much money, they have to say. Now, I'm not saying Mr. Raymond said anything. I don't know, but it's other boosters besides him. But I know it's somebody that's giving some money, and because they give him a lot of money, they feel like they can say what they want to say. I don't like Brian Hartson because he don't come in and say hello to me when I'm in the booth. After the games or during the banquets, he don't come and put his arm around me and tell me I'm a good guy. You already a millionaire. Shut up. I know you work hard for your money, unless you inherit it or something. I don't know. But you have an ego problem if you can't keep your mouth shut and want to put pressure on the coach because he wasn't your pick. Florida State, you guilty of that too. I know Willie Taggart was bad, but he should have got one more year. Heck, y'all should have gave Bobby Bowden one more year before you implement Fisher. But again, the boosters who gave the money pushed Bowden out. The man who gave everything for the program couldn't even get him one more year because they wanted Fisher. They wanted Jimbo Fisher so bad. And Jimbo had some success. But let's be real about it. You go back and look at it. Jimbo also screwed the pooch on a lot of those games in those seasons before we won that championship. Lucky he won that championship because people would have still been mad of Jimbo Fisher right now if he wouldn't run that championship the way that they pushed Bobby Bowden out for Jimbo Fisher. And it was one of those boosters with a lot of money. I ain't talking about the boosters to give about $5,000 here, or 10,000 here, or $20,000 here. I'm not talking about that. Talk about the booster that give a couple million, and the booster that when it's time to buy the contract, that booster give probably about another 17 million. That booster probably have a dorm getting ready to be named after him once he passed. If it haven't been named after him yet, Auburn, you gonna get yourself in trouble. You think you bad now? You think y'all sorry now? You think you ain't winning now? You think you lonely now? If you think you lonely now, you know the song. You just wait. Because if you ain't got no star coach coming in behind him, Urban Meyer, Hugh Freeze, Bob Stoops, which is the unicorn. Every program think they're gonna get Bob Stoops in their program, so they kick the coaches out. We thought we can get Bob Stoops too. No, we didn't get Bob Stoops. Bob Stoops don't want your problems. See what Texas A&M jumped so quick and got Jimbo Fisher, don't you? $100 million, where it got them? They got to give him one more year. And I think he'll probably be more successful one more year if those players stay and don't transfer. If those players stay and don't transfer. But I'm hoping Alabama hangs 70 on them. I hope Alabama hangs 70 something points on Texas A&M. I just hope so. We'll see though. I don't understand what Auburn is doing. I mean, you look at a coach like Mark Stoops. Mark Stoops at Kentucky. Mark Stoops didn't have a lot of success at first, up and down. Now look at him now. And somebody said, "Well, Mark Stoops would do good at Auburn." And he probably would if they leave him alone. I don't think if I was Mark Stoops, I wouldn't go nowhere near Auburn. You couldn't get me to go. I'm not Mark Stoops, but I'm just saying, if Auburn do that to their current coach, what do you think they're gonna do to you, Stoops? First time you have a losing season. They're not, Auburn people do not have patience because Nick Saban is putting pressure on them, putting pressure on the whole SEC. Now I know Kentucky probably upset that Mark Stoops haven't won a championship. They probably ain't gonna win a championship, but you better be happy with 10-win seasons because when you don't have them, when you don't have a 10-win season, it don't feel good. Kentucky, you're doing good right now. 8, 9 wins, that's good. Maybe you'll look up and Mark Stoops will win a championship when Alabama somebody have a down year and they catch Georgia right and they beat them or something. You know, you might that might happen. I don't know. I just think that people want success overnight, and we're fans. Boosters are just fans with money. Boosters can make your program. They also can destroy your program because they're boosters. You give boosters these pretty sweets, all this fancy stuff because you need the money, and they do help. They bring a lot of money to you, to the schools where the schools can't necessarily get funding. You can only watch so many cars, do so many drives. When you need to recruit on a high level, you need the best facilities. And the boosters do a great job of giving back to the school. It's kind of like Jimmy Jones does a great job giving money to the Dallas Cowboys. But he sticks his nose in places he don't need to stick it also. And if he stops sticking his nose in certain places, maybe the Dallas Cowboys will have better success. Even though Jimmy is the owner, and when you're the owner, you can he's a lot more clout than the booster, but he has a lot more clout than a booster. But I'm just saying, boosters and owners might need to stay in the box, enjoy your lobster and your champagne, enjoy your success because I know when you walk in there, everybody know who you are, your fame. Enjoy that stuff. You give a lot of money, you should enjoy that stuff. Get a dorm name out of you, build a new building name out of you, a new facility. But one thing that you shouldn't do, you shouldn't have say in coaches hire because you don't like them or you don't want that coach, or because you do like them and you do want that coach. That should be the AD's job. ADs shouldn't have to look over their shoulders because a certain person gave more money. I haven't talked about Auburn all year, but what I'm hearing, Auburn has to play Georgia this week, and you want Brian Hartson to pull off a miracle because I know Auburn fans like, oh yeah, we have a chance to win. No, if you win, it wasn't because you felt like you had a chance. It's you just lucked up and you just won. Or Brian Hartson put together a hell of a game plan, and that's you know that's what gonna happen. Ain't no Auburn fan in the world gonna think they're gonna win that game. Now, Auburn players should have confidence of winning that game for their coach. I tell you that. Auburn players should. Brian Hartson might get them right to what they believe. But if they somehow pull a horseshoe out of you know where and they look up and win that game, Auburn fans don't come to me and tell me we told you. Don't. Just say we won. At least we have something good to talk about this year and move on. That's what you should do. If you're an Auburn fan, don't tell me that. Oh, I put $100 on the game because I knew we was gonna win. No, you didn't. You put $100 on because you thought some luck was gonna happen, and it happened. but not because you knew you was going into this game. Oh, we're going into this game and we're gonna win. This is not the Iron Bowl. This is not the Iron Bowl where you always have a chance no matter your record is. It's not. And trust me, I understand when you play in the Iron Bowl, you know, when you play in the Iron Bowl, anything can happen. Because they have so much dislike for each other. Auburn can go 0-9, go into the Iron Bowl, beat Alabama. Alabama the same way because it's such a dislike. And I understand that. All right, let's run through a few of these games. Like I said, please like and subscribe also. All right, Saturday, October the 8th, 12 o'clock. Number 4, Michigan and Indiana. 12 o'clock game I talked about, and I think LSU has a great chance, and I need LSU to win. It's Tennessee and LSU. 12 o'clock, we have TCU and Kansas, number 17 and number 19, Kansas. 4-0 TCU, 5-0 Kansas, number 19. We have a Mobile guy from Murphy High School, Tanaka Scott, that plays for Kansas. I would like to see him get some success and win. Arkansas, Mississippi State, 12 o'clock. Mississippi State ranked number 23. I think Arkansas probably is going to beat them. I think Arkansas is dangerous. South Florida and 24 Cincinnati. I'll take Cincinnati all day. Auburn and Georgia. Auburn and Georgia. Georgia. All right. Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. Number 7, Oklahoma State. I think it's going to beat Texas Tech. Texas Tech do have a little fire. They could make the upset if Oklahoma State is not on the game. How about that? All right, number 11, number 18, UCLA. South Alabama almost beat UCLA. I think Utah is going to get UCLA. I think Utah is still upset from that Florida loss, and I think they have waking up. And uh I think Utah. I'm thinking Utah. I'm feeling Utah. Number 3, Ohio State and Michigan. Ohio State is going to beat the drum of Michigan State. Uh, Ole Miss and Vanderbilt. Number 9, Ole Miss is going to run over Vanderbilt. Washington and Arizona State. Number 21, Washington is going to beat them. Clemson, Boston College. I think Clemson is going to beat Boston College. I know that. I hope Boston College can soften them up a little bit because we need all the help we can get. So BC, do us a favor. Play football hard. I like Clemson as Florida State and give them your best. It's a red bandana game. So for people who don't know what a red bandana game, you need to go look that up. It's pretty cool. That's really cool. And I think you'll like it when you find out if if you're a military person. I think you would. I'm not going to give it away. I want you to do some research, some homework. I'll probably tell you next week what it is, but go do some homework. All right. And I think South Carolina and Kentucky, of course, we think Kentucky going to win that. Wake Forest is going to be Army and Alabama and Texas A&M. Alabama. Florida State and NC State. I need my North to win by 7. I think my North to win by 7. We need that, especially if Jordan Travis, the running quarterback, shows up. I think, I think we need that. Um, we need that bad. We need Jordan Travis to run, run. I, I if Jordan don't Travis don't run, and our field goal kicker Fitz doesn't kick, I think we may be in some not no trouble because everything that Florida State getting right now, everything that we have, the success and stuff that we're winning, that we having, people didn't plan for that. So it's kind of like you playing with house money. When you play with house money, You just sit back and you enjoy the ride. And that's what I'm trying to do is sit back and enjoy the ride. That's what I'm trying to do. So hold on. All right. Let's see what we got here with South Alabama. I always got to give shout outs to South Alabama. South Alabama is the local team. And so always want to support South Alabama. South Alabama is off this week. Um, Next week they play Louisiana Monroe. I think that is homecoming. So we'll talk about more about South Alabama like that next week. But give South props. I think South Alabama has done a wonderful job playing football this year. They've been coming up big in the Sun Belt. I think they're dangerous. I'm glad we don't have them on the schedule of Florida State. So we'll see. We will see. All right, everybody. That is Doc Sports. My name is Marquise Dupree. Hit me up on YouTube at Doc Sports. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Or hit me up on Facebook, Marquise, Marquies, Dupree, Dupree. Please, please, please. If I didn't cover anything, you're like, I'm so sorry. This is, my first week back. So, like I said, always put it in the comments. Drop them. If you are on YouTube, if you are on Facebook and you just want to talk sports, I know I covered a lot of football, college football. Well, not a lot, but enough. If you want to talk about something else, boxing, or I even talk about wrestling, put it in the comments. Or reach out to me when you see me. Let's talk sports. That's what we do. Doc Sports. Later and peace. Like and subscribe.